Hello everyone, welcome back to Tillotson T4 Esports series. I'm Anthony Jordan and I'll be your commentator for tonight, taking you through all the live proceedings for round number 4 of the Tillotson T4 Esports series. Let's have a look at what we've got coming up for you tonight. We have got, well, several drivers. I think a grand total of 60 drivers. We've got 2 groups of 30 drivers taking part in tonight's round. And, of course, what round it is going to be. Kristianstad is the circuit, or the Assam Ring, as it may more commonly be known, in the south of Sweden. An absolutely fantastic circuit, probably actually one of the oldest circuits, as it celebrated its 50-year anniversary in the year of 2016. So it's a fairly old circuit, if not in Europe, if not the world. So a very historic circuit. There is a look at the circuit, 1,221 metres in length, 15 corners, 26 feet of elevation, and well, it says established in 2012. I'm guessing that's the kart club established in 2012. The actual track itself has been there for a much longer time, or the kart club has been there a long time. One or the other, one of them's been there for more than 50 years. A look at the weather. Again, not sure if that's going to be the actual weather of the circuit itself. It could possibly be. It could be a little bit rainy. It is Sweden. I mean, it is further north than the UK, so the chance of rain is, well, highly probable. Highly probable. A huge welcome to everyone who is joining us in the live chat. Please do get your comments in. I can see it in the commentary box. Do let me know where you're watching from, what time it is where you're watching from. I'm always curious about that one. And who you are supporting tonight. Please do keep those comments coming in. Now, for the ladies and gentlemen at home, if you are unsure about what you are watching here tonight, of course, this is the Tillotson T4 Esports Series round number 3. A little rundown of the order. We've got 2 groups. We've got Group 1, we've got Group 2, both consisting of 30 drivers apiece. They have got 2 race heats. They have got a final as well, so they'll accumulate points from those 2 race heats, and then they'll bring them over to their final. That will determine their starting grid for the final, and then that will go with the final, and then hey-ho, we get your points from that one, and points accumulate to what they've already run. Now, of course, the championships itself will run from the top 3 highest scoring rounds from the championship, so you only have to have 3 decent rounds in this one, and they'll take those 3 rounds. And then that will go to the prize, and of course, we'll go over a little bit about the prize later on. And of course, yeah, that will all accumulate to that one. Group 2, of course, will have the same. They'll have their Heat 1, Heat 2, and then their final as well. There'll be 2 final winners in this as well, not just the one, like you would say in a normal karting weekend where you would have 2 groups. You'd get a repechage. You would then kick out a certain amount of drivers, and then you would have the A final like that. But we don't have that for this one. Each group has 2 heats, 2 finals. And off we go. We get 2 final winners from that one. But like we said, prize for this, of course, the winner for the Tillotson T4 Esports Series will get that fantastic prize of getting the entry into the T4 Nations Cup that has been announced this year that it will be racing in, you guessed it, ladies and gentlemen, Spain, Valencia. They're heading abroad this time around after the last 2 years it being held in Ireland, the home of the Tillotson brand. They are spreading their wings and heading out to Spain. So that's absolutely fantastic for that one. Dates for that one, 30th of September to October the 2nd as well. 4 classes. No, I tell a lie. I tell a lie, ladies and gentlemen. There's 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, I think 6 classes that we've got out there this time around. We've got Mini, T4 Mini, that aged 8 to 12 years old. They'll be racing. T4 Junior, aged 12 to 16 years old. T4 Senior, age 15 plus. T4 Senior 165/Master, that's 15 years plus as well. And then the T4 Rental Team Endurance Event as well, ages from 15 years and above. lots of racing that's going to be happening out there in Spain at Valencia. So an absolutely fantastic one for that one. Tillotson president Charles Demergen said himself that it's always been the goal of Tillotson to kind of spread the wings and travel the Nations Cup around the world. And for this year, it is going to happen. It is heading to Valencia, Spain. That will be absolutely fantastic. And of course, at the late September, early October as well this year. I've got lots more information about that as well. Tickets for the event will be announced in June as well. But you can purchase an all-inclusive Ride and Drive package to bring their own car, purchase an entry-only ticket. There we go. Look at that. So you can bring your own as well as rent one. So it doesn't need to be, you don't need to, like you say, rent one. You can bring your own. So look at that. That is absolutely fantastic. So big stuff for this year for the T4 Nations Cup. Warm-ups are happening at the moment. As you can see there, these are some of the live pictures of the circuit around Kristianstad. I'm not sure what that was. It was sparks coming off one of the cars. If it was, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But oh dear, and there's two cars going straight off in the background. I think they're happy with their laps, and they're just having some fun there. And rightly so. There's a yellow in Sector 2 as well. Because I think they went from Sector 2 to Sector 3, if I'm not mistaken. They kind of shot straight across the track. But no, absolutely fantastic. Jonah joins us. Good luck to Tom. Thomas Cooker really Yeomans to get your comments in of the support of who you are supporting out there. Lots of drivers out in this one. Of course, Group 1 will be heading out first for this. Representative times we've got out there. Kind of in the, well, I'm not too sure because James Bell out there has set a 52.6, but the rest of the field is on low 59s. Now, I'm not saying James Bell has cut a corner there, ladies and gentlemen, but he is 6 seconds, 6.5 seconds faster than anyone else out on that circuit. James, what are you up to out there? We'll find out. We will find out. I don't think you'll get away with that one because when it comes to the live stream, we'll show you, hey, maybe he is. Maybe he's got an amazing setup. He's got it sorted. That would be absolutely fantastic. Looking at his sector times, he's a little bit slower everywhere at the moment, so I'm not sure where he's found that time. But as the drivers entering and disconnecting from the server. Now, of course, if you're again new to the T4 Esports series, you will know that the software that we're using tonight is KartSim, which will be run on the alphalive platform, so it is PC only. So for you console players out there, unfortunately you can't join in, but if you have got a gaming PC, you can. Ladies and gents, entries are still open for the rounds, and of course it is the top 3 scoring rounds from the championship, and we are currently on round 4 of 6, I believe. So yes, there is only, well, if you haven't entered into this one, you might struggle in the last 2 to game, but still enter away because it's good fun. It's good fun to join in and have a bash, a hack out on the circuit. That's what it's like racing with everyone. Now we go on board here with Stratton Hibbs, currently in 5th place at the moment, 5th fastest, and of course it's only warm up and drivers getting themselves sorted. Now, of course, with this circuit, there are extra little chicanes here, there. I believe only 2 chicanes in total that we're going to be using tonight. There are actually the physical chicanes on the circuit. There are some extra built-in chicanes around there that I don't think we're using. Hopefully, the entire grid is not using those chicanes, and James Bell is not using those chicanes. But warm-up nearly completed. And drivers will get everything sorted out and tinker with their setups, I'm sure. Get everything happy and glorious. But, I would say, practice ending. Race 1 is about to take to the circuit. So then, group number 1, or race 1, group 1 is going to be heading out onto the circuit in just a moment for their first heat. Let's have a look at how they're going to line up for said heat. as they go through. But like I say, we've got quite a few drivers in this one. Names in terms of on my list, we've got 30 drivers in this one. That again could change. We might not have a total of 30 drivers in this one. It could all change from that one. But James Bell will start on the front row. Thomas Cookerillo-Yeomans alongside Spencer Trahorn and Stratton Hibbs on row number 2. Josh Freeman and Louis Barker on row number 3. Row number 4, Jordan Upton, David Whitehouse just alongside Flynn McClumpher and Nathan Maximum on row number 5, rounding out the top 10. Zane Khan and Daniel Callagher on row number 6. Hardy Mamassi and Henry Foote on row 7, Ben Higginbotham and Daniel Amore on row number 8, Rory O'Shea and David Vishaw on row number 9. Dayton Hayward and Luke Woodward. George Townsend will round out the grid, 21 karts on row number 11. So 8 short than I thought we were going to have. So there we go. Alfie305 joins us on the live chat. I have Kart Sim on my PC. I might have to enter one of these because I think I'm pretty good at it. Well, there you go, Alfie. I think you've answered the question yourself right there. Get signed up for the next couple of rounds because they are at some pretty tough old circuits out there in real life and on the sim as well. So do enter in, but keep watching and let us know what you think. Now, of course, like we're saying, these drivers racing in this for that grand prize of heading to the T4 Nations Cup that, of course, will be held at Valencia this year in Spain at the end of September, beginning of October. You have to remember that there are other ways of getting an entry into the T4 Nations Cup as well, not just via the T4 Esports series. There are also other opportunities to win the tickets this year at events like the T4 Series national races being held led up to the event. Of course, check with your local T4 dealer about those events, but you can enter into those real-life karting events, and you could, again, win an entry ticket into the Nations Cup, which, like we say, in sunny Spain. There we go. Chance of better weather. Not that the weather's not good anywhere, but out of weather between Ireland and Spain, I think Spain would usually have the better weather out of the two of them. But I'm not a weather expert. There we go. But I went to Ireland once and it was raining the entire time. I went to Spain once and it was sunny the entire time. So I think, there we go. I think that's got my reasoning behind that one quite nicely. Like we say, we'll take a short ad break. We'll be back in just a moment. Race 1 is coming up soon.
Make sure to follow Tillotson on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube and TikTok. The T4 Esports series first premiered last year in the weeks leading up to the World Cup after more than 2 years being developed by Tillotson crew in cooperation with Kart Sim. The idea for a virtual T4 kart and later the T4 Esports series came from a desire to give existing T4 drivers a platform to practice on away from the track, to give those unable to race in real life the chance to do so virtually, and to give sim racers the chance to test their virtual skills in real life karting. It's for this reason that Tillotson are offering 2 tickets to compete in this year's Nations Cup, valued at €2,500 each. Tillotson's ethos of making T4s accessible to anyone can be seen in the real-life T4 package, which has been made as accessible as possible, making almost everything in-house. It's this fact that means that the T4 package is not just financially affordable, but accessible to those just starting out in karting who aren't as familiar, maybe, with how to run a kart as more experienced racers. This, as well as tightly regulating how the kart can be set up, means that Tillotson has been able to offer the close racing that the T4s provide at an extremely reasonable price. This accessibility is what has led to the T4 series becoming a go-to series for both novices and experienced racers in more than 25 regions worldwide. Let's take a look at those prices. Starting is always the most expensive part of racing, however Tillotson have made every effort to make taking up T4 racing as affordable as possible. It's important to remember that the equipment required for starting can be used for multiple years, or if money requires it, can be bought second-hand. In the case of minis, the cart and trolley can be found being sold second-hand as drivers graduate up into the junior category. The nature of the series also means that second-hand equipment depreciates in performance and value very little, meaning a kart can still be capable of being fast and winning races, even if it's not new. To buy everything new, however, will come with an initial cost of roughly €4,720 for minis and around €5,500 for juniors and seniors, including VAT. The cost of running a T4 kart over a season is also remarkably low. In a sport where the cost of running a kart can run into 5 or 6 figures per season at national and international levels, Tillotson have estimated a T4 junior or senior kart can be run for just over €4,000 per season. This includes entry fees, which may vary between regions, and a €1,000 damage allowance. So, if you're a careful driver and treat the kart well, this total could be significantly lower. With the T4 series expanding constantly, it's only a matter of time before there's one where you are. Until then, why don't you jump on Kart Sim and practice in our virtual T4s while you wait.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, Heat 1, Group 1 is currently on the grid, ready to get their first race underway. And, of course, 10 minutes this heat. Points accumulates at the end of this one to determine where they will start in the final. Of course, everyone racing tonight will get a final, and we will have 2 final winners at the end of this one. But who is going to start where? Apparently it's just one group tonight. There we go. I've just been told that in my ear. The disembodied voice in my head is actually only the one group. There we go. So, who is going to start where? As you can see in the top timer there, 4 seconds to go before the lights go out, and we're racing here at Kristianstad, and light out, green flag out, we're off and racing. Good start then from the front row. James Bell gets an early lead. Now I want to keep a close eye on James Bell, because in his qualifying laps and his practice laps he was some 6 seconds a lap faster. One of the karts there clouting the curb on the inside of T1. Getting the job done. There's a bit of side-by-side jostling there. The number 7 going through. That's Whitehouse. He's dropping back down the order slightly, down into P8. There seems to be a graphical bit there where as they hit the curve, there's a huge sparks that fly from out of underneath the kart. It was absolutely fantastic to see. But the kart's making their way around the track. It's a good start for the majority of the grid. A lot. Do you know what? A lot cleaner. I didn't mention this so far, but a lot cleaner start than what we've seen in the previous rounds. I think drivers have been told, like the last few races, they've been a bit questionable, but I think they've got it sorted out, which is lovely to see. Right, so James Bell, he still leads, and he's broken away a little bit of a gap, 0.4 of a second, and across to the line, and looking all fine and dandy. Thomas Cook-Yeomans has found himself up into 2nd place. Jordan Upton as well, just there in 3rd as they go through. Battle for 3rd, very, very close. Only a few tenths with them. This is with our 2nd place driver now, Cook-Yeomans, as he is hunting down 1st place or race leader James Bell. Not managing to find so much pace at the moment as we go on board with Yeomans. And a lot of inside curb there, midway round the lap. And are halfway through Sector 2 at the moment. And again, a fabulous circuit here in the south of Sweden. Again, host to many international events and national events. And now, the T4 Esports Series. There we go. Around the final bend, back onto the start-finish line. Whatever James Bell did in practice, he's certainly not been able to replicate that here in this race, because there are eyes on him now, eyes on him. There we go, watching here as very late on the brakes there is Yeomans, and he's going to look for the switch back here, and tries to go around the outside, gets that move done, nicely timed. And, yeah, he's going to have to, James Bell going to have to slot into position now. That's allowed Jordan Upton, Stratton Hibbs, Josh Palfreyman to close in. Louis Barker also. These top 5 absolutely line astern, and again James Bell trying to go down the inside there of Cook-Yeomans, failing to do so as Jordan Upton makes the move. It's a very late lunge, but got the move done. That demotes James Bell down to P3 now. Cook-Yeomans now with the breakaway, and one of the karts off the track. Who was that that's just dropped down the order there? I'm not quite sure who that was. It was one of the yellow karts, but I couldn't quite see a kart number. Side by side for 4th place. 2 number 9s, which is very handy with Palfreyman and Barker. Palfreyman, the driver, in front, and the number 9. Barker just behind. I say just behind, now alongside as he goes to the outside here. Can't quite do it as round there goes the 19 of Jordan Upton, and Upton now finding himself falling down the order and into the main pack. So again, it just shows that drivers are going to have to really pay attention to how much steering input they put into these, because a little too much and yeah, you can really unsettle the kart. So you've got to set everything up perfectly on the sim as well, and there's a lot that drivers can do with their steering setup itself compared to what you would have set up for, let's say, cars around on our Factor 2. The karts are a completely different kettle of fish. You've got to set it up just a little bit differently to get it a bit nicer and a bit perfect around the lap. But for the time being, everyone getting around fairly okay. A couple of puffs of dust as drivers go slightly wide. That's Daniel Amore that we're following now, the number 8, currently in P11, 10 seconds off. The actual race leader at the moment has just found himself up into P10 now, crossing the line. So next driver will be Nathan Maximim. This is the battle for 5th place. That's Stratton Hibbs and David Vishaw just in front. David running the 27 and the orange helmet there. Looking comfortable at the moment in 5th place. Of course, these drivers having a much cleaner run this time around. Yellow's in sector 2. Sure, for a local spin, it should spin clear quickly, and that will be the reason why the number 2 of Henry Foote has spun and has gone round. We have had a couple of DNFs from this one. Zane Khan, as well as Ben Higginbotham, both retirements from this race so far, which is a huge shame. And do keep your comments coming in for tonight. 4.5 minutes to go of this race, and Thomas Cucurulli-Omans leading the way, 1.6 seconds, looking comfortable. Now, Omans, Josh Palfreyman up into 2nd place. Now, where's James Bell? Okay, so James Bell's gone down into 6th. As we watch here the battle for 9th, 10th and 8th. Maximum now down into 10th. Daniel Amore up into P8 now. Luke Woodward just there, and again back down the inside. That was nicely timed, that move there by Maximum. Gets it done, demotes Daniel Amore. Back down into P10. Amore around the outside, going to try and get the switch back here, but as the corner opens up, it's hard to do so. So he'll slot into the slipstream. Not going to go for a move around turn number 1. Turn 1, a very fast flowing corner into a very tight chicane here, so probably not the ideal place to do so. Into this corner here is a popular one for an overtake, and again Maximum trying to get that done on Woodward, failing to do so. On board with Maximum, and again the number 10 of Woodward just ahead. No position changes for the time being, as again, look at that, Daniel Amore really committed on those curbs on the inside there through the 2nd sector, trying to get that move done. Again, not being able to do so, loses a little bit of time. Now, this is the closest action out on circuit for the time being, and it's still heating up. Woodward going slightly defensive there into the final corner. It's quite early with the defensive moves. 2.5 minutes to go. Again, defensive into turn 1. If Daniel Amore takes the normal racing line here, could get this switch back here, and looking like he's going to go around the outside. No, can't quite do it as Maximum gets the move done and flips, and that's a huge crash there. And wow, I have to say, if that was real life, that would probably be a stoppage. But luckily, it's not real life, so there's no stoppage. Now, what caused that? Well, I'm honestly not quite sure, because it looked like he'd got the move done right there, and it looked like he just hit an invisible wall of some sort. So, not quite sure what happened there. But again, there might have been something that we couldn't see. Well, there definitely was something that we couldn't see because he flipped. So, yeah, there we go. So, a disaster for Maximum. That makes him all the way down to P12 now. 18 seconds off the race leader. Palfreyman still in 2nd place from Thomas Yeomans. So, that gap still 1.8 seconds. Another 1.6 seconds further down the road is Louis Barker in P3. Eyes still on this battle, though, as Maximum trying to get past. He's in, obviously, this big group as someone dives into the pit lane. And another one also diving into the pit lane there. Quite literally. Here is Luke Woodward, number 10, P8 at the moment, clear air in front and behind. Daniel Amore has managed to get past after that incident involving Maximum, Nathan Maximum, who now apparently on my screen has DNF'd, so, which is a big shame, battling for that 6th place spot after that incident. Has pulled into the pit lane and called it quits in heat number 1. Hopefully we'll see him out in the next heat. Less than a minute to go then. Here is your race leader, Thomas Cucurullo-Yeomans. Second in practice of James Bell's incredible 6 seconds a lap faster time. Not managed to replicate that time in the race, which I'm sure is fortunate for every other competitor out there. Yeomans leading the way. Palfreyman comfortable in second. Barker holding on to third. I say holding on to third. No, that's completely changed, because that's the battle that we're watching now, as Vishaw has moved up into P3 now and is closing in slightly. I believe that is one of the back markers there. That could be Spencer Trahorn they're involved with. And that is the checker flag out. Oscar Cucurullo-Yeomans takes it. And I'm sure he'll be absolutely delighted with that one, scoring maximum points going into heat number 2. Of course, I'll have to do all of that again. And see where he can score for heat 2. To determine where he's going to start for the final a little bit later on today. So P1 goes to Thomas Cucurullo-Yeomans, P2 goes to Josh Palfreyman, and P3 is to Louis Barker. Well, a much cleaner and more controlled T4 Esports Series heat, I think, that we've seen in previous races. Heat number 2 coming up in just a moment's time. Ladies and gents, do stick with us. Well, there we go. Like we say, a fantastic running in that one. Here's a look then for the next starting lineup for heat number 2 at the Aston Ring. George Townsend and Luke Woodward will start on the front row. Dalton Hayward and David Vishaw on row number 2. Rory O'Shea and Daniel Amore start on row number 3. Ben Higginbotham and Henry Foote on row 4. Ardema Massey and Daniel Callagher on row number 5. Zane Khan and Nathan Maximum will round out row number 6. Flynn McClumpher and David Whitehouse on row 7, Jordan Upton and Louis Barker will round out row number 8, Josh Palfreyman and Stratton Hibbs on row number 9. Spencer Trahorn, Thomas Cucurullo-Yeomans and James Bell will start at the back of the row, rows 10 and 11. What can Yeomans do from the back of that one? What can James Bell do from the back of that one? Those two were fighting fiercely for the race lead in that last one. And of course, will they repeat that in the second one? But this time around, they're going to have to get through that entire pack. So is it going to be another clean start? Is it going to be... We're not too sure when that race starts in just a moment's time. Now, while we've got a little bit of breathing space, ladies and gentlemen, we can go over a little bit more about the Nations Cup. Now, of course, there are a couple the extra classes that are there this year. Now, of course, they had the 3 original classes, T4 Mini, T4 Junior, and the T4 Senior classes. This year, they've added T4 Senior 165/Masters and T4 Rental Team Endurance. Now, you're probably thinking, Anthony, what on earth is the T4 Team Endurance? Well, I can tell you that that is where teams of a minimum of 3 drivers will compete in a 3-hour endurance race in the new T4 rental karts. These are the same karts that will be used in the FIA Motorsport Games, giving drivers a chance to experience endurance racing at the highest level. The event also features a Nations Cup trophy where the country of drivers accumulating the highest points total will be awarded the Nations Cup. There we go. So that's a little bit more about the T4 rental team endurance as well. So a nice little change of pace. I mean, God, let me think back. The longest... When did I last do an endurance race? It was probably way back when I was 17 years old. It was probably only a 90-minute endurance race or something like that. Nothing, but I did it by myself. You were supposed to do it in teams, but I got special permission to do it by myself. And you still had to do driver swap pit lane, so you had to come into the pit lane. I had to get out the car, do a lap around the car, which was exhausting, and then back in and then drive out. I used to do that, and after 90 minutes, I have to say, my ribs were, well, non-existent. They were dust, because I wasn't wearing a rib protector, which you should probably wear nowadays, ladies and gents, because modern karts are, well, they've got lots of traction, so they'll just dart around a corner, and yeah, believe it or not, you can quite easily break a rib in real-life karting, so rib protectors are quite necessary, I believe. Well, there we go. Like I say, though, the T4 Esports Series running for... Well, it run last year, the esports program on the kart sim. Brought it back for this year, of course. With those ones, winners of each category with a valid motorsport karting license receives the Real World Drivers T4 Nations Cup. So there we go. Winners from this one do get that entry as long, like I say, as they have a valid motorsport karting license. If you don't have one, I don't think you get to race in real karts. I think you still need the license for that one. So if you're winning on points, make sure you got a license, a valid one. There we go, and you'll win that prize. There we go. So like you say, ticket for the event though, they'll be announced in June, and like you say, Tillotson have confirmed that drivers can purchase an all-inclusive arrive and drive package or bring their own kart and purchase an entry-only ticket. So there we go. You can bring your own or you can rent one as well. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with Heat 2 in just a moment's time.
Tillotson has been fueling innovation for more than 100 years, and we're continuing that tradition by expanding our product range consisting of Tillotson carburetors and engines, the T4 kart packages and PVL ignition coils, to include Tidal Sport products, because Tillotson are now the Irish importer for Tidal Sport. Developed alongside Conor McGregor, Tidal plant-powered cryotherapy spray is a revolutionary new pre- and post-workout recovery spray to rejuvenate your joints and muscles. Go to tillotson.ie/shop to get yours today.
there we go. Some fantastic videos there of the T4 World Cup that was taking place. So the T4 World Cup is now the T4 Nations Cup. So the Nations Cup, formerly the World Cup. There we go. So that was that's kind of insight of what you could be winning as a prize if you win this event, or one of the national races that takes part at UK circuits around the UK. You can enter into those, of course. Check with your local T4 dealer to find out more information about that. Let's have a quick look then at the live comments. Good luck to David from Maria Vishal. Hi Prick says, let's go Rory O'Shea. Ian Williams comments in, going Wilton flashbacks for me there. There we go. Oh, Wilton flashbacks. Ian Williams. We had a roll in that race, and Ian Williams has rolled a kart at Wilton Mill. There you go. That was in the Birrell Art Series, I believe it was, which what is now the Daniel Ricciardo Series, which is what it is. Yeah, I think that's what it was in. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ian. Summit, are you at Warden this weekend? Yes. I am indeed at Warden Law this weekend. I actually leave tomorrow morning, bright and early. So as soon as I'm done tonight, I'll be straight to bed. Very early start. And I will, yes, I'll be heading up very early tomorrow morning to Warden Law for Motorsport UK's British Kart Championships. Comments coming in. It's no Daniel Amore, that's Amore. Yes, it is. I've not said it yet. I'm waiting, Ellis. I'm waiting for the final to say something like that. You can't just bring it out straight away. You know, you gotta build up into it. That's what you gotta do. There we go. Well, Heat 2 is going to be taken to the circuit in just a moment. I'm sure drivers are just having a quick briefing before they're getting themselves sorted out. They'll be reconnecting and they'll be going onto the grid. Let's take a little reminder of the starting lineup, though, of how they're going to be starting for this one. Heat 2, George Townsend and Luke Woodward will be starting on row number 1. Dalton Hayward and David Vishaw will round out row number 2. Maria, if you're watching, David starting on that second row. Keep a close eye. Might do well. Rory O'Shea, Daniel Amore will start on row number 3. Ben Higginbotham and Henry Foote on row number 4. Now, Higginbotham had a retirement in the last one. Hopefully, he can recover in this one. Adam Massey and Daniel Gallagher in row number 5. Zane Khan, also a retirement from heat number 1. Starts from row 6 with Nathan Maximum, also a retirement after that spectacular crash that we saw out of the first chicane midway through the session. Flynn McClumpher and David Whitehouse on row number 7. Jordan Upton and Louis Barker on row number 8. Josh Balframan, who finished in 2nd in that last one, I do believe, from Stratton Hibbs, will start on row 9. Spencer Trehorn, Thomas Cook-Rollins, your race 1 winner, with James Bell starting at the back of the grid because he started on pole for the first one. A complete reverse grid of what we saw for heat number 1. Drivers have to sort that out. Bradley Beavers joins us on the chat. Good luck, boys. Come on, Jordan Upton. It was meant to be racing. I was fast in practice, but I have GCSEs tomorrow, so I have to stay back. There we go. So, got to remember, folks, yeah, GCSE, you've got to do it. I know the one driver is not coming to Warden Law this weekend because he's got his A-levels. He said, I'm going to be focusing on my A-levels and not going racing. But he said, I'll see you at GYG. There we go. So he's not overly focused about his A-levels. He will be back at GYG. Harder Massey, Wayne R10. There we go. Do I have to release him or something like that? Well, there we go. If I do, I've released Wayne. There we go. Wayne is free. Just get that out. There we go. Drivers, I've been told, are getting ready on the grid, and we cut to that right now. Look at that. Lovely stuff. Get themselves lined up here at Kristianstad. Now, looks a little bit brighter this time around. Maybe the race director's been kind and has thought, you know what, I'm going to get rid of the clouds. Going to give them a bit of sunshine. I think that's what they liked. So hopefully that improves maybe their chances of going a little bit faster in that one. I think last sort of lap times that they were doing that one, 52s, I want to say. So around that sort of time, you can just see off the distance steering wheels turning wildly. Now that's not a case of they're warming their front tyres. That would be very difficult to do when you're stationary, because you'll be just warming up a single spot, and you probably wouldn't even be warming it up. You'd probably just be wrecking it. What that is that's probably they're letting go of their actual steering wheel at home, and the force feedback, which is turned up quite high, is going wild with their steering wheel going left and right. Now that is a case of you've got your force feedback set too high. If the steering's doing that, if you let go of the steering wheel, it should just be fine. Unless you actually agitate it, it will then go left and right. But if you let go of it and leave it, it should do that. And if it does do that, it means your force feedback's too high. There we go. 5 seconds then on the timer until the lights go out, and heat number 2 will be underway, and out they go. Green flags out. We're off and racing. Good, again, good start from the front row. Already some yellow flags out there in Sector 3, but everyone's got away cleanly, and everyone stayed on the track going across the start-finish line, which is always a plus, but not staying on the track for too much longer. As who was that? That was the number 1. That is Dalton Hayward, who's going haywire at this moment in time. Same with number 14, Townsend, also in a sandwich, and there's carts off left, right and centre, and we're back to normal again. There we go. You thought we'd missed it. No, it's not gone anywhere. There we go. Back to normal. There we go. Perfect stuff. Well, they go through, and one of them riding, I think that's David Vishal there on the back of Daniel Amore. Bring me along, take me for a ride. There we go. Latched onto the back, quite literally. Well, Ben Higginbotham from a retirement in heat number 1, currently now leading heat number 2, which is nice to see, and pulling away a slight gap further down. This is Ian Williams that we're seeing at the number 18. He started at the back of the grid, so he was trying to go out in heat 1, but I think he had some issues, so he's back out in this one. So he started at the back. Already carts peeling off into the pit lane. I'm guessing they've received some form of track limits penalty. Now, Ian Williams, a driver, like we said, who has rolled it in real life and has taken part in a cumulus allowance of 24-hour endurance kart racing. Ian also attempted the solo 24-hour karting attempt, where he attempted to drive a kart in a race for 24 hours without stopping to beat a certain world record. Unfortunately, after 9 hours of racing, he fell ill in the kart and unfortunately couldn't complete the race, but a valiant attempt from him anyway, and he raised quite a bit of money for charities as well. Ian is going to attempt that again at some point. He's not sure when, but he is going to attempt that record-breaking attempt once more. But yeah, valiant attempt from him anyway, because 9 hours on your own in a car is well, unthinkable. Wouldn't like to do it. At the moment, though, I say there, who was that? That was who was that? That was a kart that wasn't facing the right way through the chicane. Whizzed past our screen. We couldn't see it at all. But it now means that Ian Williams a P9. There we go. Under pressure, though, from Josh Palfreyman, the man who finished second in heat number 1. Fighting back in this one. Yeoman's just behind as well in P11. So the quicker of the drivers are now trying to fight their way through the pack. Ian Williams gets politely pushed out slightly wide there through Sector 3. Or the exit of Sector 2 into Sector 3. And again, now, out of momentum, he's been discombobulated. He's going to have to try and fight his way back in towards that pack and back into the train, fighting through. So Ian Williams now down into P11. This, though, ladies and gentlemen, is a battle for the race lead, because Daniel Amore has latched on to the back of Ben Higginbotham and has, well, he's probably going to go for a move any time, probably soon. Now they're they're in Sector 2 now. They're about halfway round the lap, only a few more corners to go on this lap. 6.5 minutes, plenty of time for anything to happen. And of course, when something does happen, I can guarantee you that David Vishal, who's just there in 3rd place, you can just see behind the orange-blue kart, he'll go for that move. You'll see that. Same with Rory O'Shea. Rory O'Shea's having a good little race at the moment. Currently P4. Hardy and Massey there in P5. James Bell, P6, not hit any invisible walls this time, which is good. Daniel Callagher is there in 7th place. Luke Woodward there in 8th. Thomas Yeomans in 9th place. Stratton Hibbs the top 10. Al Freeman still there now in P10. Ian Williams still there in P11. Luke Woodward in 12th place. Louis Barker's found 13th place from Flynn McComfort. Jordan Upton, Spencer Trehorn, George Townsend, David Whitehouse, and change for the lead as Daniel Amore goes down the inside. That again, halfway round the lap, gets it done. It was well, quite a forceful move as sparks fly out of the bottom of David Vishaw's kart, and Ben Higginbotham from 1st to 3rd in a couple of corners' time will now have to fight back as Rory O'Shea has latched onto the back. So breakaway then from these top 4, but Daniel Amore leads the way across the line. Oh, but Amore's pulled into the pit lane. Amore with a penalty, it looks, and he comes straight back out. So a drive-through penalty potentially for Daniel Amore, and goes down and back out onto the circuit, albeit now in P5. Well, disaster for Daniel Amore. It looked like he had that sign sealed and done. And now, David Rishaw leading the way. Maria, if you're watching, thumbs up. Sure you're enjoying it. And now, David leading the way. Rory O'Shea there in 2nd, looking comfortable as well. I'm sure Hyprix is enjoying this. Supporting Rory. Now, that is Mr. Bell. James Bell. I think he may have had an issue, but he's up to P6, and the number 21, looking comfortable, is now behind Daniel Amore. I say is behind Daniel Amore as number 27 has come back into the pit lane. Ah, now that was David Rishaw. Oh, there we go. Commentator's curse has kicked in there. Oh dear. Oh, he's not going to be happy with me. Then again, who is happy with me? There we go. No one. But never mind. Oh, and off the track. James Bell, if it's not an invisible wall, it's off the track. And having an absolute nightmare there. Let's have a look at what happened. So, right. Okay, so I got tagged by another kart again. I couldn't quite see the kart number of who that was, who was at the side of the circuit. But it's not going James Bell's way tonight, which is a nightmare. Now everyone's come in for a penalty and sorted that out. Where are we standing? So, Rory O'Shea is our race leader. Ben Higginbotham now back into P2, hunting down O'Shea. And doing a good job of it, nonetheless, as well. Now, they've got just about a 4-second advantage now to the next group behind. That has got Daniel Amore, Hardy Mamassi, David Vishaw, Stratton Hibbs, Daniel Callier as well. That will be the top 7. So we'll have to see what happens as the race continues. Now this is the battle for 10th place that we've got on your screens. Ian Williams has just put it up into P9, but messed that corner up massively. And Woodward has got straight back past. Now this is Ian's first, I think, attempt at this championship. He did. I was with Williams at Anglesey last weekend for the Classic Sports Car Champion Club, I should say, Anglesey for one of their rounds. Beautiful weather in the north of Wales. It was very lovely. It was very sunny. Actually got a little bit sunburnt, as I always do. I go from zeros to lobster in about 2 seconds. But yeah, he said, I might enter into that one because it looks like fun. And he did enter. And oh dear, we've got karts in the pit lane. Oh, and it's Ian Williams. Oh dear, as I get again as I talk, and one of the karts pulling in front. That looked like the number 28. Is Thomas Cooker? It is. Oh, 8-1 race winner. Thomas Cooker Yeomans has got a penalty and is in the pit lane. Not sure if it's a retirement. No, he's just in the pit lane for a stop. So he has quite literally a stop-go penalty. You can see the timer ticking away, and Williams is out after 33 seconds stationary, or 21 seconds stationary. Thomas Cucurulli Yeomans comes out, albeit now nearly a full lap down. This, though, the battle for the race lead. Higginbotham has now retaken the lead from Rory O'Shea. Higginbotham slightly wide there. O'Shea back around the outside. Says, thank you very much, I'll take that. No dramas. All the way around the outside of turn number 3. That was lovely. Well executed. Higginbotham a little bit too quick into the corner there. You saw the car just drift out wide there. Gonna have to try and fight back. We've had 3 retirements from this one. That's a Trehorn, Georgia Townsend, and Hayward. Time being. There was another one. No, just 3 retirements so far. A couple of drivers on some warnings out there. So, 3 seconds to go. I think Rory O'Shea's got this in the bag. Yep, timer strike 0. Checker flags out. Rory O'Shea has it. Nicely done. No dramas whatsoever for Rory O'Shea. Be happy with that one. Ben Higginbotham will take 2nd. And Daniel Moore will take 3rd. He will be happy with that. There we go. So, Heat 1 results was... Thomas Cucurulli Yeomans, of course, took the win from Josh Palfreyman and Louis Barker. Should say Heat number 2, a complete change around, which is why we love reverse grids, ladies and gents. Rory O'Shea will take the win. From Ben Higginbotham. If I'm saying this slowly, it's because I'm writing it down as I'm doing it. And Daniel Moore, there we go. Daniel Moore takes 3rd place. Lovely. Written down on my piece of paper just in front of me in my virtual commentary box, which is actually my office at Wilton Mill, in the alphalive department. So that's where I am, to not give an illusion for you. High Prick says, well done Rory. There we go. Charlie Locker Racing, come on Daniel Moore. We said Motor Meerkat joins us. Good evening everyone. Good evening Motor Meerkat, or John Radcliffe, if you are familiar with who Motor Meerkat is, to which I am. How are you this evening? Are you well? Maria, well done to Dan and David. Tough old race for them, Maria. Penalties galore in that one. Track limits, I suspect, is the main one. You've got to keep it within them white lines. However tempting it is to cut a corner, you can't do it. You're not allowed. Not allowed. There we go. So, fantastic stuff then for Heat number 2. We'll take a short break. We'll be back in a moment. Heat 3, or it's not Heat 3, sorry. I suspect it's probably going to be the final. Ladies and gents, will be coming up in just a moment's time.
Make sure to follow Tillotson on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube and TikTok. The T4 Esports series first premiered last year in the weeks leading up to the World Cup, after more than 2 years being developed by Tillotson crew in cooperation with KartSim. The idea for a virtual T4 kart and later the T4 Esports series came from a desire to give existing T4 drivers a platform to practice on away from the track, to give those unable to race in real life the chance to do so virtually, and to give sim racers the chance to test their virtual skills in real life karting. It's for this reason that Tillotson are offering 2 tickets to compete in this year's Nations Cup, valued at €2,500 each. Tillotson's ethos of making T4s accessible to anyone can be seen in the real-life T4 package, which has been made as accessible as possible, making almost everything in-house. It's this fact that means that the T4 package is not just financially affordable, but accessible to those just starting out in karting who aren't as familiar, maybe, with how to run a kart as more experienced racers. This, as well as tightly regulating how the kart can be set up, means that Tillotson has been able to offer the close racing that the T4s provide at an extremely reasonable price. This accessibility is what has led to the T4 series becoming a go-to series for both novices and experienced racers in more than 25 regions worldwide. Let's take a look at those prices. Starting is always the most expensive part of racing, however Tillotson have made every effort to make taking up T4 racing as affordable as possible. It's important to remember that the equipment required for starting can be used for multiple years or, if money requires it, can be bought second hand. In the case of minis, the cart and trolley can be found being sold second-hand as drivers graduate up into the junior category. The nature of the series also means that second-hand equipment depreciates in performance and value very little, meaning a kart can still be capable of being fast and winning races, even if it's not new. To buy everything new, however, will come with an initial cost of roughly €4,720 for minis and around €5,500 for juniors and seniors, including VAT. The cost of running a T4 kart over a season is also remarkably low. In a sport where the cost of running a kart can run into 5 or 6 figures per season at national and international levels, Tillotson have estimated a T4 junior or senior kart can be run for just over €4,000 per season. This includes entry fees, which may vary between regions, and a €1,000 damage allowance. So, if you're a careful driver and treat the kart well, this total could be significantly lower. With the T4 series expanding constantly, it's only a matter of time before there's one where you are. Until then, why don't you jump on Kart Sim and practice in our virtual T4s while you wait. Tillotson has been fueling innovation for more than 100 years, and we're continuing that tradition by expanding our product range consisting of Tillotson carburetors and engines, the T4 kart packages and PVL ignition coils, to include Tidal Sport products, because Tillotson are now the Irish importer for Tidal Sport. Developed alongside Conor McGregor, Tidal plant-powered cryotherapy spray is a revolutionary new pre- and post-workout recovery spray to rejuvenate your joints and muscles. Go to tillotson.ie/shop to get yours today.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. 2 heats have happened, 1 more to go, and it's the final that's going to be taking to the circuit in just a moment's time. Let's have a look at how they are going to line up for that final. I don't believe that's the right one. That looks like the one for Heat 2 that's currently up on your screen. So we'll try and get to the real one in just a moment's time. They're all doing their doobie rockets behind the scene. There it is. Apparently George Townsend starting on pole position with Luke Woodward alongside Dalton Haven and David Fisher, Rory O'Shea and Daniel Moore. Row number 3, Ben Higginbotham and Henry Foote. Row 4, Ardeman Massey and Daniel Keller on row 5. Zane Khan and Nathan Maxman. On row number 6, Flynn McComfort, David Whitehouse. Row 7, Jordan Upton, Louis Parker on row 8. Josh Parframan, Stratton Hibbs on row number 9. Spencer Trahorn, Thomas Cooker-Yeomans and James Bell on row 10 and 11. Now, that again looked remarkably like heat number 2 grid. But apparently I'm told that was the correct grid. So there we go, ladies and gents. You heard it here first. Because it's only here at the moment. But again, do get your comments coming in. I can see them in the comment box, which is, like I say, my office at Wilton Mill. But as for the illusion, I'm in a comment box in Monaco. Let's go with that. That sounds cool, doesn't it? So, final time. What do we expect to see? Do we expect to see good racing? Do we see carnage? I suspect both. When that happens is another question. But who is going to take the win on that one? Now, of course, Thomas Cooker-Yeomans, he took the race win in heat number 1 from Josh Palframan and Louis Barker. But in heat number 2, it was Rory O'Shea, Ben Higginbotham and Daniel Moore who took it. So, a nice shake-up there. So, again, not that we're going to see the same results that we saw in heat number 2 and heat 1. It could shake it up a little bit. So, keep a close eye on what could happen in the final. Alex O'Grady Sim Racing joins. Good luck to Daniel Moore, David Rishaw, watching here from Kristianstad. There we go. Watching from the circuit itself, or from the town, because it's the town is Kristianstad, isn't it? So there we go. Updates are happening thick and fast here, and the disembodied voice in my head is telling me lots of things that 90% of them I can't actually hear, so he's telling me important things which I can't actually hear. So hopefully all will be well and we'll be going with the race in just a moment's time. But while we wait, we can talk a little bit more about, of course, the upcoming T4 Nations this year, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll please, is being held in Spain for the first time for the Tillotson T4 Nations Cup. It will be at the International Cartdromo Lucas Guerrero, or known as Valencia. So they'll be racing there this year at the end of September, beginning of October, September the 30th to October the 2nd. Of course, more classes, 2 added classes in this one. The last couple of years you've had T4 Mini, Junior and Senior. This year you've got T4 Senior 165/Masters and the T4 Rental Team Endurance event. Now, of course, you can enter into those via winning this T4 Esports series or by taking part in some of their national races being held leading up to the event. You can check with your local T4 dealer to find out some more. And to let you know about T4 dealers, they're everywhere. To put it into context, they're all over the world. But there's quite a few in the UK as well, of course. Over 500 plus drivers from around the world took part in the last couple of years' World Cup, formerly known as World Cup, now Nations Cup. And of course, a hugely popular event that everyone took part in. It was, of course, held in Ireland for the last 2 years due to COVID restrictions. They thought they'd keep it at home, sort of thing. But now, spread the wings, they're heading to sunny Spain this year, and absolutely fantastic to be a part of that one, of course. So let's have a look then. I think karts are on the grid. They are indeed. And the final is going to be underway. Who is going to go where at the end of this one? Who is going to take the win in the final? Oh, there we go. Cool. Well, fantastic. Why aren't you racing? I'm sure you've got a sim there with you, Alex O'Grady. Where's your sim there? There we go. Sort it out. Find a sim, get on it, log on, plenty of time, a few seconds before we get this race underway. Sort it out. There we go. I expect to see you on the grid. But, like we say, drivers getting themselves primed and ready. A reminder, 12 minutes this final. Points accumulated from the 2 race heats that they have just had determines where they start for this final. And, of course, the winner from this one, maximum points added to their total. And, of course, the top 3 point scoring rounds from all the rounds in this year's Tillotson T4 Esports series will determine the results. So you can drop 3 rounds from this one. 5 seconds left until we get the final underway. It does say 10 minutes. It should be 12, but nonetheless, lights are out. We're off and racing. Good start from the front row. Everyone getting away nice and cleanly and breaking down in towards turn number 1. Look at that. Again, much nicer start. Now we're going to the chicane. That's where it all goes a little bit more hectic. But there we go. Daniel Moore leads then from Hardy Mamasi. There are karts going off left, right and centre. Amore's got quite a good advantage. This is for 5th place down. Hibbs involved in this one. Shan Hibbs under pressure. Big group just in front as well. Got Higginbotham, Woodward and O'Shea. And all this getting a bit... Podding is going on here, ladies and gentlemen. Side by side, pods would be flying off left, right and centre. The patwanging has happened and off goes the 24. That's Maximum. Dropping down the order. Nathan Maximum once again not going his way in this final. Down the start-finish straight they go. And pulling into the pit lane is Stratton Hibbs. So again, penalty coming Stratton Hibbs' way. Here is 2nd place Hardy Mamasi at the moment. Closing in on Daniel Amore. We look a little further back. This is Trehorn, I believe. Is indeed. So Spencer Trehorn, who's having, well, a sandwich by the looks of it. He's having a sandwich with Ian Williams and Josh Palframan. There we go. That's an interesting sandwich, I'm sure. Fighting back though, trying to go around the outside there. That was a well, and it, like you see, it didn't pay off there. And Hayward's coming back for another look. Back here at the front, James Bell here in 3rd place at the moment. Rory O'Shea down in 4th. Rory O'Shea now with the fastest lap of the race as well. As they go through, but absolutely fantastic stuff from these drivers so far. Nice breakaway from the top 4. And Gilmore with a little bit more of an advantage. We're watching here the battle for 3rd place between Hardy Mamasi, James Bell and Rory O'Shea. James Bell trying to get past on the inside here. That's allowing Rory O'Shea to come down the inside here. Gets it done. O'Shea up into 3rd place. And they are sparks. There we go. They hit the curbs, and yeah, they got some virtual sparks flying out the bottom. They look a bit large, these sparks, but there we go. Nonetheless, they've got sparks coming out the bottom of them. That's quite nice. Nice to see. On board here with James Bell. Down the start-finish line. Who was that just pulling off the side of the track? Not too sure. Looking a little further back, this is Louis Barker in the number 9, currently in P7. Ben Higginbotham just in front. Thomas Cook of Yeoman's just behind as well. Yeoman's much better start this time around. P8. Looking a lot more comfortable. Bit of clean air back at the front here because it's all kicking off for second. O'Shea now up into P2. Mamasi down into P3. James Bell going to capitalise on this one with these two scrapping to close in. Has closed in but not managed to get the move done. While they're doing this, Daniel Moore has broken away. Now, Ellis, no. Just you wait. Just you wait. There we go. Anything can happen. 6 minutes of karting in real life, anything can happen. 6 minutes of esports karting, well, that's quite literally a century in esports racing, so quite literally anything could happen. So, Daniel Moore, like we say, leading the way, and oh dear there, James Bell with a mistake through the chicane allows Mamasi to come back through. Bell looking to come back down the inside here. We'll have the outside line going into the next corner. Has to concede the spot, goes for the switchback, can't quite do it. Slots back into place, and a little bit of that. Now, a friendly nudge there, friendly nudge. Just a love tap, I think that was. And Massey coming straight back at James Bell, just saying, well, you love tap me, I'll love tap you back. Right, there we go. And now they're all sorted out. They've stopped squabbling. There we go. Yellow's in sector 1, so someone's gone for a spin. They clear quickly, and they're back, so maybe he spun again while trying to get back round. These two having a fantastic little scrap. That's allowing Rory O'Shea to break away. Now, oh dear, and into the pit lane comes James Bell. Drive through. So, Mamasi, after having to battle there and losing all that time to Rory O'Shea, now has got some clean air to try and close that gap back up. We're here with Louis Barker. He's got Thomas Hooker-Yeomans just behind. P8, Ben Higginbotham just in front. But Higginbotham's got a bit of breathing space at the moment, so it's Yeomans just behind. Then there's Jordan Upton as well, also just behind. These three having a good little run at the moment. Not really fighting, more trying to work together, try to close up to the group in front. Gallagher with a good run here. Up to P4. Looking comfortable. Next driver on the cusp will be Mamasi. More scrapping going on here as Barker is trying to get past Yeomans. They've both got past Upton. James Bell's just in front of this one as well. Barker and Yeomans absolutely side by side. Now this is the battle for 4th place, and Claire is defending furiously from Higginbotham and Bell. Everyone trying to fight for the same piece of track, and unfortunately that's just not going to work. Now again, just closing the door there slightly on James Bell. They're just trying to find any way past, really. Higginbotham's managed to get past, gone on to P4, but while they're scrapping, there's a huge up and down moment in the background there, and oh dear, was that Ian Williams who went for that roll moment there? I'm not quite sure who that was in the back of shots. That's absolutely fantastic. I think, yeah, the physics when the kart is in the air on our factor isn't the greatest. I think it doesn't show it very well when the kart's in the air, so the roll looks a bit strange. But that was someone rolling. Yes, an upside down moment there, and Keller and Higginbotham absolutely side by side. Sparks off and posh down the inside goes James Bell. Well, that's one way of doing it. Oh, and he's gone straight off the track. Hey, maybe that's how he went 6 seconds faster in practice earlier, doing that, but it didn't look faster that time around. So, well, there we go. Oh dear me. Now, that looked there like, well, I won't say what that looked like, but yes, yeah, I think we all saw what that looked like. Let's have a replay of it. Why not? May have looked slightly intentional there. not going to lie. But I'll leave that to race control. Really wouldn't like to be race control right now. There we go. But back with it. Gallagher still there. And number 24 getting involved in this one, James Bell, coming back. And Maximum also there. Maximum, who had the early spin, coming back now. And this is a right brouhaha that we've got going on here. And again, cuts off left, right and centre. And again, number 1 just slightly cutting the track there just to get it back on circuit. And, well, there we go. Not sure who that was. I think Gallagher and maybe Flynn McComfort there as well. McComfort's just managed to get into position. And into the pit lane comes Gallagher. In a much calmer part of the track. This is a bit nicer, a bit tranquil. I might put some nice music on. Daniel Moore is leading. Comfortably, 4.5 seconds. Not a stress in the world. Absolutely happy. At a 3rd place in Heat 2. Currently leading. 10 seconds left on the board. Does he ease it off or does he carry on? As a racing driver, he will carry on and he will cross the line with 3 seconds to go. So we've got another lap of this as they go through. Go-Kart Dan asks, what game is this? Well, this is Kart Sim on R Factor 2. So it's R Factor 2 with the Kart Sim DLC, effectively. There you go. Go-Kart Dan. Timer strikes 0. Daniel Moore looking comfortable. Halfway round the lap now. No one close behind. No one close in front. And looking nice and comfortable is Daniel Moore. I've not said it yet, but as he crosses the line, I may say it. I might not say it. There he goes. Oh, someone's going the wrong way down the start-finish straight there. That's definitely not the way you want to be doing it. So I think he's connected. Across the line, though, Daniel Moore crosses the line, takes the race win. 4 seconds further down the road, Rory O'Shea will cross to take second. And Hardiman Massey will cross the line right there in the number 24 to take P3. Higginbotham will cross in 4th place. Cucurulli Yeomans will cross in 5th from Barker. Upton in P7. Maximum will cross in P8 from McClumfer in P9. James Bell crosses the line, I believe gets a one-lap deduction for that one for a penalty. So Ian Williams gets promoted into the top 10 and finishes P10 from David Whitehouse, David Rishaw, Foot, Kelleher, Hibbs, Hayward. In fact, Vishaw's just gone down to P16 now. Oh, well, now Henry Foot's gone down to P16. So the active penalties going on here. A couple of DNFs in that one as well. Woodward, I believe one of them. Trayhorn 4 laps down at the end of that, which is a big shame. Rest of the pack coming through. They're going to cross the line. Are they going to crash when they cross the line, or are they going to all behave themselves? No, they're going to come into the pit lane. They're going to be well behaved there. That was one driver who's just shot off straight into the, well, can only be said the cafe, probably. I mean, I don't know Kristianstad that well. I've not actually been to the circuit, I have to say. Shame on me on that one, but it looked like he went straight into the cafe there. Well, ladies and gents, what can we say about that, eh? Fantastic stuff. Heat 1, Heat 2. Great run for Thomas Cucurulli, Josh Pelframan, Louis Barker, who took the race win in Heat number 1. Rory O'Shea, Ben Higgins, and Daniel Moore in Heat number 2. Daniel Moore, Rory O'Shea, and Hardiman Massey in the final. They will go home with the points, and that will tally up with their points that they've had from other rounds and whether or not they could win the entry into the T4 Nations Cup that will be taking part in Spain at Valencia at the end of September, beginning of October this year. And again, you could get an entry into that one as well if you take part in the T4 Esports series. If you win, you get one of those entry tickets. You get one of 2 entry tickets, or you can take part in one of the national races. Just ask your local T4 dealership whether or not you can enter into one of those. But from myself, Anthony Jordan, and from everyone here at alphalive and Tillotson T4, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.